FirstUnitarianOttawa.ca. And if you're right here in Fellowship Hall and want to have more information after the service, Agnes is at the welcome table at the back of the pews, and she'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And now here's Chuck from our board to highlight some announcements for today. Chuck?
Good morning. Julie, is this in correct position for me?
No, you should hold it to your mouth. Just hold it.
Okay, so we got two things here. I think I can manage that. But I've got to get my screen lit again. All right, here we go. So, today we've got a special program starting. The FirstU Food Sharing Program is open starting today. Stop by to check it out in the Green Tower room, which is just across sort of through the walls over to my left. We have fresh, frozen, and non-perishable food available for anyone who's having difficulty making ends meet. Come and fill a bag to take home. We have a follow-up to last Sunday's sermon. You may recall that Lindsay Barr, founder of the World Changing Kids, spoke to us about the Tanagadino Alliance. Tanagadino Zibi is the name of the Gatineau River in Anishinaabe-Moan. This alliance is inspired by the granting of legal personhood to the Magpie River in northern Quebec in 2021. They seek the granting of personhood to the Gatineau River, believing it would grant the Gatineau much improved environmental protection. For more information and to sign the Alliance's statement, go to the Climate Action page on our website, scroll down to the Enviro Advocacy and the Enviro Bit. Also, the FirstU Board is looking for persons interested in serving on the board of a new organization being created with THEA Partners to manage the 16-story building that is part of the campus redevelopment project. Information was sent a couple of weeks ago to all congregation members in an email blast and is also available on the members page of the FirstU website. Please send nominations or expressions of interest to me, Chuck Shields, at president@firstunitarianottawa.ca. Also, feel free to contact me if you'd like to discuss this opportunity. We encourage you to sign up to receive the EUU, our weekly email newsletter. Sign-up information is available on our website under the Communications tab and as a QR code on the back of this morning's printed program of service. Check our Facebook and Instagram pages and our website for notices and updates. Our calendar continues to be as full as ever, though some of our activities take place online. This morning, each of us is welcome. We of any heritage or faith, whatever our burdens, of any cultures or race, of any gender or orientation, in any body, all that we are. Today, we're part of this spiritual community. Thank you.
So let us begin with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that our FirstU campus is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory, and that the work of reconciliation is the responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Our goal is to educate ourselves and all those who have the willingness to understand, to be of service to those who are at risk, and to advocate for justice.
So why don't we just take a minute or two? Are there some people who are looking for chairs? I've got to say, we have more people than I expected. This is an awesome, awesome problem to have. There is a chair right there. You know, you're right near the front, but that's okay. There's one beside the flip chart.
We got one here too.
There's some back here with the. All right. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Guy. And along with Lisa Lay, Lisa Sharp, Casey Price, and Kelly Thompson, we're going to be delivering a little teaser about our Whole Lives program, also known as OWL. So how many of you have some familiarity with OWL? Either you facilitated, or you've been a participant, or both? Huh. All right, that's awesome. Well, for those of you who have never been introduced to OWL before, I hope that this is both educational and entertaining. So we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna tease the OWL program, but this morning our focus is really gonna be on relationships. So we're not gonna ask you to build stuff with clay or pick out body parts on a flip chart. That'll be later on. So, a basic tenet of OWL is that sexuality is a basic component of being human. We're sexual beings from birth until death. OWL offers an opportunity to engage on a topic that you may find fascinating, confusing, frustrating, and rewarding, all at the same time. In the program, participants learn new information, examine their values, and build communication, decision-making, negotiation, and sexual health skills. As an aside, OWL is how I first came to be associated with the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. It was back in 2003 that this young one right here convinced me to come in as an overnight volunteer because we had senior high OWL youth that were here. We used to have a weekend format, and we wanted to make sure that they were learning the material, not trying to practice the material. And I learned about heaven and purgatory and other little hidey holes throughout the church. At the beginning of an OWL program, we would introduce the OWL Bill of Rights and Program Assumptions and the OWL Program Values, and we would walk through the circles of sexuality. I made some copies of that information. It's over right behind Bob Armstrong there on the lovely new table under the community board. So if you're interested in seeing what that is, please come and avail yourself of a copy, and if we run out, I have the code for the photocopier so I can make more. Our Whole Lives. And the unofficial, official tagline for OWL is just say no, but K-N-O-W, as opposed to the abstinence programs, which is just say no. And that generally doesn't work. As this morning is only a teaser, as I said, we have copies of these items, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have about OWL in general, or today's session after the service. Any of the group of us would be happy to assist. To begin with, we have adapted a reading entitled The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Navigating a New Relationship After Divorce, and it's by Dr. Phyllis Moho. The advice in this, and that's why I say adapted, applies to all new relationships. But the emphasis will be different for each person and each situation. So to begin, her words. Here are some steps I believe will help to navigate the nuances of a new relationship. Self-reflection. Take time to reflect on your past relationships, experiences, including what worked and what didn't. Understand your own needs, desires, and values in a relationship.
Healing and closure. Ensure you've healed from any emotional wounds or baggage from your previous relationships. Seek closure, if necessary, through therapy or self-reflection.
Define your goals and expectations. Communicate your intentions and expectations for the new relationship with your partner. Discuss your long-term goals and what you both hope to achieve together.
Open communication. Effective communication is critical. Discuss your past experiences, what you've learned, and what you want from this relationship. Encourage your partner to do the same.
Take it slow. Avoid rushing into things. Give yourselves time to get to know each other on a deep level. Allow the relationship to progress naturally rather than trying to force it.
Establish boundaries. Discuss boundaries and expectations regarding finances, living arrangements, and personal space. This is especially important if you're merging two households.
Respect each other's independence. Maintaining individual identities and interests is essential, while also nurturing the relationship. Encourage each other to pursue personal passions and hobbies.
Seek support. Consider seeking guidance from a therapist or counselor, individually or as a couple, to help navigate the unique challenges that can arise in second relationships.
Adapt and evolve. Be open to change and growth in the relationship. Understand that every relationship is unique and may require adjustments along the way.
Handle conflicts constructively. Conflicts are a natural part of any relationship. Learn healthy conflict resolution techniques and try to address issues calmly and respectfully.
Nurture intimacy. Emotional and physical intimacy are essential components of a healthy relationship. Keep the spark alive by connecting on both levels.
Celebrate each other. Appreciate the unique qualities and experiences you both bring to the relationship. Celebrate milestones and enjoy the journey together. A new relationship is a fresh start, and while past experiences can inform your choices, they shouldn't dictate the course of this new connection. With patience, understanding, and open communication, you can navigate the nuances of a new relationship and build a fulfilling and lasting partnership.
And now we're going to do a little singing together. So inside of your programs this morning, you have an insert with words for 2 songs. Our first song will be You Are My Sunshine. Lisa, did you want to?
We hope everybody will want to join in and sing along with us. The house band is here today to help us with the music, and so consider this our opening hymn, and we hope you will enjoy this. A lot of you might know this song.
I used to think this was a happy song, and then I actually read the words.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you. If you'd like to stand up, you can. I know normally we would for a hymn, but it's up to you. If you're interested in standing up, that's totally fine.
Stand as you are willing and able.
Yes. Okay, ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I'll always love you and make you happy if you will only say the same. But if you leave me to love another, you'll regret it all someday. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You told me once, dear, you really loved me, and no one else could come between. But now you left me and love another. You have shattered all my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Yeah, we forgot to tell you we were going to do a kazoo thing there. Anyway.
But that's okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kelly Thompson. I'm going to do the chalice lighting reading. When I was looking for something to reflect our theme of sexuality and relationship, I chose a poem by the wonderful Michael Cody. He's an Irish poet who recently passed away this year, and it's out of his book of poems called Oven Lane. And the title is Primal Waltz. Deep in November, it seems a luminous thing to have known, so simple a grace. A day in the summer, the sea took us into its belly and breast and lifted us lightly together. Lifted beside me your head, sleek as a seal's from the wave, salt water brimming our shoulders under the light. Open as children, we gave ourselves to the primal waltz of the world, spreading our limbs in the balance and sway of ocean and moon, of earth and its sun, our lives and their gravities laid for a time with our clothes behind us up on the land, and nothing beneath us or pressing about us but the absolute pulse of sea, lifting us, woman and man and all, into the fluid dance where all of the dreaming began.
Our chalice is lit. Back here. Thank you, Kelly. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Sharp, and I'm here this morning for the Cultivating Compassionate Community Group. And we've got a whole bunch of different things going on, but today I'm here to tell you about one little spark. The research has shown that when people do some kind of art, it is good for your mental health. So it helps you to deal with stress, it helps you to relax, it helps to bring some of the endorphins in your mind, in your body. And in particular, apparently, they've done studies now on adult coloring. So you don't have to be a great artist to get the benefits of art. And so what we have done, they actually have these things in hospitals, in nursing stations, so that nurses can color for a while when they're on a break, and it helps reduce their stress levels. And so we have gotten this poster, and we started the coloring process, but it's going to eventually say, welcome. And we're kind of hoping it'll be done by Pride weekend, right, when we do our Pride service, so we can put it up, right? And it was on the back table there during fellowship hour, during coffee hour. Anyone can go over, pick your favorite color, and color in a few things. We want it to be random. We want it to be joyful, so we want it to be full of color. So we'd be very happy to have it colored in by everybody here today, whenever you have a chance. And it'll be out for fellowship, for coffee hour for the next few weeks to get it finished, okay? So thank you very much. Those are my compassion.
Hello, me again. We're now going to do an exercise that we do at the beginning of every OWL session. We used to do it at youth events as well. It is called Creating a Group Covenant. I hope that those who are members here at First Unitarian, and there were a lot of members here because I recognize the name tags, are you aware that we also have covenants here? Are any of you not aware that we have covenants here? We have both a behavioral covenant and a relational covenant. They're actually on the wall in worship hall right above the volunteer, right beside the volunteer room. So I suggest going and having a look. My hope is that when we're finished this exercise, we'll have captured the same essential points on here, probably in much simpler language that we have out there. So a covenant is a contract that a group makes with itself on how we will behave towards one another and with one another. And it's intended to make sure that we all feel comfortable, that we all get something out of the session, that we all participate to the best of our ability, but that we all feel that we have the right, if we're just not feeling comfortable, to just kind of sit back and take it all in. And above all, that we all are respectful. So if you were creating a covenant, and you are, what is something that you would like to see on that covenant? Just put up a hand and throw something out.
Respect for each other.
Respect for each other. That's a good one. That's usually on there. I'm going to put Joe on the spot, because Joe's been through this exercise more than once, and then I'm going to pick on Joan too. So.
I'm just going to repeat what you and the other person said, and what my close personal friend Aretha Franklin said, all it has to be ECT and respect.
There we go. Well, but there's different respects. There's respecting each other, there's respecting yourself, and there's also respecting the space that we're in. And I alluded to weekend events, and we occasionally had to remind people that, you know, this is, amongst many other things, a church. Please don't take the cushions off the benches, because we have a hell of a time getting them back on. So, another one. Oh, Lou.
Equality.
Equality. So what does that mean to you?
We all use this space and are heard on an equal level.
Okay, so we all use this space, and we should all be heard on an equal level, feel that we all have the right to be, we all have an equivalent right to be here in whatever way we can be. I'll just let Casey write that down, and I've got Mariella next.
Use I statements when speaking instead of speaking for other people.
Excellent. So use I statements. I'm just going to pull this up as I feel like I'm leaning down. Oh, so I got Kelly, and then I've got Dory over here. So Kelly. Okay. So Kelly.
What I say in the room stays.
Ah, the Vegas rule. Yes, confidentiality, what's said here stays here. Because in an OWL session, we get into some fairly heavy topics, and sometimes people, because they feel very comfortable with a group, will disclose stuff that they wouldn't normally disclose. And having that repeated outside of the trusted circle does all sorts of things. A, it's not respectful, and B, it can be really damaging.
We'll remind folks that this is live streaming. So this is not a real OWL session, it's still a Sunday service.
So being accepting of our differences. And then I'll turn over to Lori and then to Alexis. So Lori. When someone is, oh, hold on, I'll be respectful of Casey and let her finish writing down the last one. Yeah. So when someone is talking, listen. Alexis.
Try to understand someone else's perspective.
Cool. Try to understand the other person's viewpoint. And I can't see your name tag from here, but I see your arm up.
So choose compassion
Perfect. So I'll repeat that for the live stream. Choose compassion instead of judgment. Good one. And Andrew, you had your hand up as well?
No, but I'll say, try not to interrupt someone else.
Try not to interrupt someone else. Lisa.
One that we like a lot is assume good intentions. Because sometimes you might hear something and go, ah, and it's not, you might not have heard it the way they meant it, you know, so assume good intentions.
And I saw a hand back there. Oh, there we go.
My name is Louise. I teach Mishnah. It's Ojibwe language. And I start with principles. And the principles, is when we agree to these principles. And one of the things I do is, Mishnah has many dialects. So people come in with some knowledge and they're trying to grow their knowledge. So I say to them, do and say how you speak. Because that's
Do and say how you.
know your dialect. So if it's English, I let them have permission because our people went to school and our language was behind us. So in the classroom, they come in, they use their, and they use whatever it is that they come from.
So how would I sort of shrink that down to something that Casey can write?
In the words that they know.
Okay. Yes. Speak in the words that you know. I like that. Mr. Sheila, hold on. How are you doing, Casey?
I'm doing okay. I'm running out of space. You want me to start a second?
Yes, please. Chuck.
Picking up on what Lisa said,
Check understanding. And I'll add one that builds on what Lisa said as well. In youth events especially, we have the concept of oops and ouch. So, oops, I realized that I said something that landed badly, so I just acknowledge it and I say oops. Or if I said something and it landed badly with Andrew, his way of letting me know is to say ouch. And that just gives me a chance to sort of pause and think back, say, okay, I need to rethink that. Another one we put in is take space and make space. And I think we covered it in a couple of other, but that is, you know, you're here, we want to hear from you. But there are some of us, one of them's holding the mic right now, who likes to talk a lot, and I have to remind myself sometimes to make space and cede the floor to somebody else. We'll grab a couple more if anybody have them. The nice thing about a covenant is it is a living document. So as you're going through an owl course, I guess we'd call it, which is usually involves like anywhere from 8 to 30 sessions, depending on which one you're going through, you might encounter a situation you hadn't anticipated, and then you open up the covenant and you put it on. And I saw a hand down there.
Assume there are things you don't know.
Ooh, I like that.
There you go.
Assume there are things you don't know, because I guarantee you there are. Well, I think we'll cut it off there because we have other stuff we want to get to. Chuck?
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed doing this and would like to let folks know the board has a covenant itself for how it's going to be together. And we encourage all groups that work regularly here in the congregation to have a covenant as well among yourselves about how you're going to work with each other.
So for the live stream, Chuck was just saying our board of directors has a covenant. We strongly encourage that any group that's affiliated with FirstU have a covenant as well, and that they familiarize themselves, as I said, to the relational and behavioral covenant of the congregation. Covenanting is a very Unitarian Universalist way of being, because we're a very egalitarian faith tradition, and everybody's voice matters. Well, yes, very opinionated. Okay, so our next activity, oh God, it's me again, is values voting. So, early on, we talked in a couple of the, by the way, the person who wrote the piece that Lisa and I read, I don't think she's Unitarian Universalist, but as I read through them and then was listening to them, I can actually map a bunch of her statements to our 8 principles. So it's amazing the universality of the principles that we hold dear in our faith tradition. One of the big ones is values. Everybody has them. You may not realize it. Very few of them are wrong. I won't say none, because there are some opinions that if they were expressed here, I would look at you a little strangely and try to convince you. But within the context of OWL, that almost never happens. But it's good to have you bring out your values and examine them and have discussions with people, and especially in the context of a relationship, because a misalignment of key core values can be a challenge that you can overcome, or that you may choose not to overcome. So we do values voting in a variety of different workshops in OWL. And what values voting is, basically, is we read a statement. And if you look back on the door there, you see a sign that says agree. So if you move down to that end of the room, it means you agree with the statement. Over here, we see disagree. You move down to this end of the room, you disagree with the statement. If you're standing somewhere in the middle and saying, yeah, I haven't really thought about it, I don't know. So I would suggest, I don't think we want everybody standing up, because that would be a bit of a, yes, maybe we can get like 5 or 10 people for each of the questions to stand up and move to an end. And if you're standing up and moving to an end, that means that you are prepared to explain why you either agree or disagree with one of those statements. And again, there's no wrong answers in this one. We pick questions where there are no wrong answers. They're just, prompting you to think about these things. So clear as mud?
Mind you, there are Unitarian preferences, so we may see a bit of
yeah,
congregating in a particular space.
All right, well, why don't you start reading, because I've done enough talking.
Okay, do we have 10 volunteers?
Well, why don't you read the statement and then people
Okay, I'll read the statement and people can get up and strongly agree, strongly disagree. Dating online is dangerous.
So this is the disagree end, that's the agree end. And then you get the folks in the middle.
Okay, we're getting a bit of a range. we don't have any.
I'm not seeing any strong agrees in this crowd.
Yeah, nobody really thinks that it's dangerous. Yes.
Yeah, well, right now you're in the
you're the wishy-washy. This is the middle. Uh-oh, Judge Dean. Whoops.
Okay, so why don't you ask Lori why she would agree with that statement?
Yeah, you're towards the agreeing statement.
Well, I mean, possibly not for everybody, but for some people, they could be scammed, yeah, or they could not see things clearly because it's not the same as in person. So I know for some people it works. But I think there's a lot of people who fall through the cracks and get hurt, or scammed, or both.
Makes a lot of sense. Do you want to explain why you're kind of in the middle on this?
Okay, sure. I don't think necessarily that dating online is dangerous, but people may not present themselves as they really are online. So I don't recommend it.
So you're more concerned about misrepresentation.
Yeah.
Lisa, do you want to comment?
Sure. I think it's really important to do your due diligence when you are considering dating online. Be accountable.
Be accountable. She said to be accountable in case that wasn't heard.
Yeah, I understand that there definitely are risks in that, you haven't interacted with them yet, and it's, even in this day and age, it can be still used to scam people, but we're also in a day and age where some people are very, very open about who they are online, so sometimes they just really put themselves out there, so they don't necessarily hide anything about themselves either, and sometimes it's hard navigating in-person dating as well.
It's true, there's no guarantees, huh? The person you meet in the bar Okay, we've got people who strongly disagree here. Casey.
I think a big thing is that online gives you time and space. We talked about take space and make space, right? So online gives you more space to decide if you want to move forward, whereas in person is confrontational. I think we also live in a society where time is at a premium. So online gives you time to see some things and make your decisions. So I think that online can be really positive.
Great, positive. Casey, did you want to? No? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of agree in the same sense. I think that you can do some vetting right away online and be like, no, this person is giving me bad vibes from the start. You can kind of give them the boot instantly and move on, whereas in person, sometimes we feel pressure to maintain something or to interact with somebody that you don't really feel like it. So.
Okay, sounds
and
good.
Kelly, I'd suggest we do like 2, maybe 3 more, just so we can move on to the other stuff as well. But
okay.
It's
Did you want to do the next one?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Pick one at random. Pick one that speaks to you.
Older adults are asexual and are not interested in romantic relationships. I don't know if we're going to get a broad range on this one. Yeah, I think we kind of have a consensus in this group. Joe, you want to speak to this?
I'm probably the oldest here. I just plain disagree because of my life experience. But also, yeah.
Your life experience, but we do know there is a perception out there. Erin?
I don't feel like this is my space. I feel like this is Joe's space. I don't think I should take a space in this discussion. But I will say I think that part of this is it's ageism, right? We just have a really, really big skew to ageism, and I would love to see that change because I think we have a lot to learn from older people. When my husband and I got married, we chose older mentors, right? And I think that's super key for anybody. So thank you, Joan.
Great, thank you so much. Casey, you said you were interested in the second question? Is that?
So, Alexis, did you made a point of standing up?
Yeah, I understand, things might change when you get older. You might not, some people might not necessarily be interested in seeing someone, especially if they've already lost somebody, but we also don't want to rule out either that, even later in life, it might not even be too late to find someone new.
Excellent, yeah, good. Sexual activity should only take place within a committed relationship.
Now, here's where I hope we get a little diversity on the spectrum.
Sexual activity should only take place in a committed relationship. We have any? Oh, Erin's like, well, we have these.
You're not alone, That's agree, disagree, and this is.
So you would strongly agree, you stay where you are. You go over with Guy if you disagree.
Louise is coming down. All right.
Not committed. Okay.
So Louise.
Okay, do we have anybody over on the agree side that might want to stand up and represent that view? No? Go for it.
I don't agree.
Okay, Carmen.
Well, my feeling is that we tend to take sexual relationships, we don't give it the meaning that they have or that they can have, and a sexual act is a very intimate act, and what's the question?
Sexual activity should only be in a committed relationship.
Well, yes, I think there has to be some degree of commitment so that if somebody gets hurt, there is going to be a time to take care of the person that got hurt in that sexual activity.
Okay. Erin?
I think it's just about safety, but safety means different things to different people, right? Not everybody needs emotional intimacy, but I do think we all need safety. So when we talk about a covenant, there should be some agreement that happens before anyone engages in physical activity at all, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a commitment, right? Not everybody can commit to a relationship. So I think it just has to come down to safety and what that looks like, right?
So you're closer to agree because you're sort of equating a covenant with commitment.
No, because I mean, we have covenants here, we're not all in like relationships, right? Some of us aren't connected in that way, right? I think an agreement is an agreement, right?
Right.
You don't have to have a relationship to have an agreement.
Great, okay. Casey. Now she wants to talk.
Yeah. So I think it really depends on how you define committed relationship.
Right.
So sort of piggybacking on what Erin said, I don't think it's necessary to be in a typical couple relationship or a marriage or a betrothal or what have you, but there has to be consent, there has to be an agreement, there has to be an understanding, but I don't think it necessarily needs to be a committed relationship as we typically see it.
Exactly. Louise.
I've been married 53 years this year. I had 5 sons. I have 6 grandchildren. So I really do, you really have a lot of value for sex and how it's done. However, I know that there's very many differences these days. People are comfortable having sex and not necessarily being committed. And so that's what I'm speaking for today, is people, it's not like us. You know, we grew up in an age where I was taught that, okay, it only happens between, Catholic when I was, and so like, don't have sex unless you're going to have a child. That's where I come from. But I've grown. So what I really would like to say about is, it's just if people use it differently. And I'm talking about legally too, because legally we're protected, right? So, but
from abuse.
Yes, right. So I'm talking about people have a different way of doing something, and sex is part of maybe just ordinary for some people. I can't take that away from them.
Great. Okay.
I think we should probably wrap up here.
Yeah,
So again, this is a taste of the sorts of discussion that would happen in a full L workshop. There would be a much smaller group, and there would be a lot more discussion, so where you could really get into it. But I really thank you very much for everybody who stood up and answered the question and gave us your perspective. That was really appreciated.
I'm back. So Casey and I are going to do this activity, and we're going to invite, there's 2 seats over here, and there's a couple more over here for everybody who's coming in now. So the next thing we're going to do is play a game, and because OWL is full of games and it's really fun. So first thing I'm going to do is hand this basket, and I want everybody to take 1 card from the basket. Don't look at what they are, just take one and pass it around, okay? And if we run out, I have more in here. I just didn't know how many people were going to be here. And I wanted to mention, to talk a little bit about, so some of you may know that I'm a family law lawyer, and that means I do divorces, okay? Yeah. And in that role, I keep in touch with a lot of my clients after the fact. And many of them have gone on to meet a new person in their life. And sometimes they show poor judgment more than once, and I help them get another divorce, right? But that's not always the case, right? And when someone's on their 3rd, I go, well, look, can I meet them first and give you my opinion before you know? So that's kind of that experience. Some of these people are in their 20s, some are in their 40s, some of them are in their 70s and 80s, right? And actually, I also did immigration law, and I did a lot of sponsorships where lots of Canadian snowbirds were meeting people down south in the US, and then they wanted to sponsor them to Canada so they could marry them and live here. And they were often in their 70s and 80s. So there's a lot of people in older ages who remarry or repartner with someone. So it's also interesting to hear stories about how they met their new persons, right? Thinking about, you know, where they went on their first dates, how they actually met. And it's really, I wanted to mention that even though my husband, Eric Ranger, who is in the corner back there, he was on the board of directors here at FirstU back in the late 90s. This is not where I met him. And I was actually involved at FirstU, but I didn't know him. And I met him at my sister's son's first birthday party because he knew her husband at work. And so it's funny where you might meet somebody, where you might get introduced to somebody, right? And so I want you to all, as we're getting ready to play this fun game, think about where you met someone in your life in the past. It could be your current significant other or someone in the past that you know. And think about all the different places that you may have met people. And then what we're going to do now, has everybody got a card yet?
Not this strip.
Okay, they're coming. Hold on. I'm going to give you them. How are we doing for numbers? Did you guys get some?
Yeah, I put them down there. Yeah, I took them down there. You will have one. Yeah.
She has more.
Did you guys back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Everybody has one, and just the last people there maybe? Everybody got one? So there's two steps to this. The first step is take a look at your card. And you will see that you are some kind of creature. All right? You might be, put up your hand. Well, I shouldn't do this, but we're going to help you anyway. What we want you to do is, there are two of every animal, okay? Oh, no. You have to find the other person with your animal and then sit beside them in the circle. So we're reorganizing the circle a bit, okay? Put up your hand if you're not able to walk around, because if you're not, we'll help you find your person, okay? And so, for example, I know, we can help a little bit, I know there's some penguins out there. Who's a penguin? Penguin? Who's a penguin?
Over there. There and there.
Oh, okay. Chuck, get up and go and be with your other penguin. There you go. Go find your other penguin. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Giraffe? Oh, you're right beside each other. They're so lucky. All right, Caroline, what are you? Who's a starfish? Who's a starfish? Uh-oh. Who's a starfish? Maybe they left. No. Okay. Okay. Maybe they're nervous about this. It's not going to be hard, I promise. What have you got? You got a zebra. Who's a zebra? All right. Can you go and be... Andrew, here you come here. Okay. What are you? Who's a whale? I'm a whale. Okay. Why don't you go over there and we'll get you a seat. Who's a shark? Okay, shark. Can you come over here, Ed? Or actually, you go there because there's more seats there. Okay, what are you? Okay, who's an owl? Owl, over there. Okay, you go over there.
Oh, cool.
Okay, that's fine. What are you?
Over there.
Dolphin. Who's a dolphin?
Welcome, deer.
We're looking for a dolphin. Oh, over here.
Yeah, that's a
all right.
cartoony
Can
deer.
you come over here? Because there's a seat here. And what are you? Who's a kangaroo? Kangaroo? Okay, we need you to come out here. And Caroline, can I get you to come over here for a minute? Just because we need more seats. Why don't you guys sit over here? Okay. Don't worry, we're going to find you first. Okay. And you're good. We've got a rabbit. Who's a rabbit? Rabbit. Who's a rabbit? Okay. Tess. Okay, you go to there. Okay, Tess, your rabbit's coming. Okay, who are you? You're a bee. Who's a bee? Who's the B?
Behind
Back
you.
there.
B? Okay, B, you are with Ruel. Ruel? Yeah, you go there? Okay, what are you? You're a ladybug. Who's a ladybug? Ladybug, come over here. Okay, what about you? Horse, we got a horse. Who's a horse? Horse, come over here. Perfect. Tiger? Tiger, excellent. And who are you again? Starfish. We didn't find the starfish. You're good.
We're the deer.
Good.
You're the deer. You're pandas. Good. Raccoon. Who's a raccoon? Oh, there's a raccoon. All right.
So where will this place be?
Go over there. Go find her. Barb will find you a seat. Go with Barb. Are you just watching? Okay. What are you? You're together? Whales? Hi, Nick. Hey, nice to see you. You're good? What are you? Elephant. Elephant. Who's an elephant? Come over here, Bob. You're going to be here. Monkey. Who's a monkey? Should be another monkey. Is anybody a monkey?
There's a monkey on the chair. It's an empty chair, but
Oh, maybe they.
maybe she could be a starfish.
Okay, starfish.
Starfish is a monkey.
Oh, you found starfish? Okay, well, I don't know. They might have left, but we'll find someone else. Guy, can you come and be a monkey? There you go.
It suits you,
Are
Gee.
you good? A frog. Who's a frog? Is anybody a frog? Frog, frog, frog. We'll come back. Who are you? Sheep. We've got a sheep. Who's a sheep? Sheep. Okay. Can you come over here? I'm going to get you to come up here, and we'll find somebody for you. And who are you? A bear. Who's a bear? Okay, why don't you go over there? He's going to come to you. You're a bear. Who are you? Lion. Who's a lion? Are you a lion? Okay. Maybe we'll get, can you move over here and then you can sit there beside Richard? Okay. Okay, and what are you? Do you have a card, Ian? Okay, what about you? Crocodile. Okay, come on over here. And I'll get you to come over here. You come over here. It's with Ian. Okay. And what about you? What are you? You're together. Excellent. What about you guys? You're together? Okay. And you're a giraffe? You're a giraffe. You're fine. You guys are all good? Okay. Is there anyone who didn't find someone? You. Right? And you were a frog. Okay. So how about if you be, what are you? Oh, you're good. Okay. All right.
Behind the bear.
Oh, good idea. Why don't you come?
We could do a threesome.
That's what I was thinking. Why don't you join this group? Okay, you're going to become a whale. It's also a water creature, right? So it'll be fun.
Chairs?
Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to give you 5 minutes to talk to your partner or partners and talk about, so this is somebody you just met. We are going to role play. That means we're going to pretend that we've just met this person. Maybe you're on the phone, maybe you're online, maybe you've met at church in coffee hour, and you kind of like this person and you want to ask them out. So you are discussing where you might go on a date, okay? And it doesn't matter what gender you are, it doesn't matter, you're going to pretend, okay? And whoever you're with is the person you're going to try to think about where you could go on a date together. And what we're going to do afterwards is go around and ask each group to tell us what they came up with. Think about where are good places to go in Ottawa for a first date. And think about the fact that some people might not have any money. So are there free or inexpensive places you could go, okay? So we're going to give you about 5-6 minutes, okay? And have a quick chat with your partner. And then we'll ring the bell or whatever, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it, okay? So go ahead.
Are you a coffee drinker? Coffee drinker? Sure.
I didn't get one and I feel very upset.
Please, join us. Come around. Coffee shop. Of your favorite choice. I've never been. I'd be willing to try. Behind the well, anyways, it's not too important. Yeah, not too. That's some heat on the you want to go to a movie or something? Or do you do distance anymore? Coffee shop and get a chance to talk to each other. Especially in the movies. Two person, but you can't do you invite somebody out to as I said, no wrong answers. Today the weather is pouring. Where else? Sometimes people will go like, maybe not to eat dinner, maybe just go out for like, maybe not going out for a dinner, but maybe just going somewhere like, depending on the circumstances, just say economic circumstances. Or hey, can we go to a bagel shop and buy you a bagel? I thought your walk was a good idea. Yeah, I've already learned something about you. Well, yeah, if somebody invited me to like a 40-kilometer bike ride, I'd say no thanks.
Ding, 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 ding. Hello, hello. Hello. You must all be having very engaged conversations. We rang our bells and you're still talking. Ding, 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 dong. Hello, hello. Good job. You're doing a great job. All right. I'm pointing you out. Thank you so much for participating. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pass the mic around to the groups. We think it'll be faster this way. And so why don't we start with you guys? And you can share one or two examples of ideas you came up with, and then pass the mic.
So we thought we'd skip the first date and just go right into a long-term commitment. Just kidding. We thought we'd do a Tim Hortons, meet at Tim Hortons, each get a snack, go to the beach, go for a walk, and chat.
Sure, that's close enough.
Kind of the same here, but we went to a fancy.
Yeah, we went to the Britannia Cafe. He biked there because he's a biker, and I walk because I live nearby. And then we talk about ecology.
So we didn't necessarily settle on like a solid first date schedule, but just like discussed ideas of like affordable places to go, like go to the library, maybe for like a special event there, or going to the museums when they have like the last hour free on certain days.
That's interesting.
Thank you.
Hi, we're both kangaroos, and I just mentioned that I am asexual and aromantic, so I don't really date, but I like having friends, and friends are awesome, according to my friend here. And and then we discussed something to do with I was raised Mormon, so she asked me a couple questions about that. I don't know what exactly the point of this exercise was, but I'm pretty sure we failed spectacularly.
Do it well.
All right.
Yeah, so I think we came up with the idea that it's okay to just have friends. And if something develops out of that, great. And if not, friends are great.
Yeah, we talked about going to a movie, and we found out that we both like mysteries. So we got talking about books, and we thought of going out for a meal, maybe by the river, by the canal, and then we got talking about books. So.
We both have international careers, so we talked about that, and then we decided we both like the Arboretum, so that worked out.
Very good.
It's just kind of strange because we didn't speak about nature at all, and it turns out that she goes to the Arboretum all the time, and it turns out that I go to the Arboretum all the time.
That's a match.
Well, we found out that I live sort of west end of the city and she lives sort of east end of the city, and we thought we wanted something in a public area, and something affordable would probably be coffee. So we looked at sort of, I guess that speaks to our values, that we chose Bridgehead as a place to meet in Westeros.
So the unoriginal thought was to go to the Arboretum as well. It's one of my favorite places, specifically a little island called Hart Island. But, for safety's sake, we were go on a little walkthrough first and have some fun, seeing if we can climb a tree, and maybe bring some scotch, because Guy loves scotch. And yeah.
Although we do the tree climbing before the scotch. And we assumed that we'd actually been chatting back and forth online virtually first, so this was sort of the next step in getting to know each other.
So we assumed we were both without much money. So we ended up going to this amazing botanical garden in the experimental farm. It's indoors. It's in a beautiful space with water running and beautiful tropical plants. It's great in the middle of the winter because it's all warm, and it's free. So we could each bring our own coffee and go there, and there's a bench there, a lovely bench. You can sit there and be surrounded by plants and get to know each other.
We decided that we were going to enjoy nature and go for a walk on the trails, either here in town, by the water, or maybe explore Gatineau Park.
Yeah, just walk by the river. Nature, nice to be outside. Doesn't cost that much.
Yep.
Hi. I've been single for a long time, and I'm quite used to it, and I'm not looking for anything else. But I do like, I always liked bicycling and talking with these two guys, and like bicycling, and I like walking, and I like hiking.
And our coffee shop of choice was the Happy Goat, followed by the Canal Walk.
Okay, we shared some of the same ideas about going for coffee somewhere.
And we talked about music and a quiet place for like maybe a vegetarian restaurant. Yeah.
Thank you. So we figured that we're both into music, and there's a kind of like barge music thing that the NAC is putting on the canal, and some folk music that sounded pretty nice. So we're gonna have a picnic by the canal with some Farm Boy strawberry lemonade. We realize neither of us are much drinkers, so we'll do that. Some baguettes, some brie, red pepper jelly, some prosciutto. So yeah. We'll take tickets.
Well, we agreed on everything. We are going to start in Bridgehead because they have some wonderful coffee. And then we're going to go to Gatineau Park and have a nice stroll through the park together.
We decided very quickly we both enjoy movies, and we then got into talking about what kind of movies we might want to see.
I started by suggesting going to the Canada Day celebrations, but Ken said that there were mobility issues, and then we ended up talking about Ken's ancestry.
Well, yeah, I talked to the general theorem is that nothing improves with age, and so neither my eyesight nor my hearing are nearly as good as they used to be, and I tend to talk on as I did. Okay, didn't really give Kelly much of a chance to talk. Okay,
which is rare.
So we were lucky enough to be two whales and a frog, I believe. So a threesome. So we decided to people watch at I believe it's the Rideau Center. And just because we have really weird weather in Ottawa, so if it's raining, we can be inside people watching, and if it's not, we can just go outside afterwards and walk around the market and potentially pick up some strawberries and just get to know each other, the three of us. Allie's not here, she scooted out, but
Thank you. Yes, we determined pretty quickly that we both enjoy walking in the woods. And I suggested ice cream, woods destination with ice cream destination at the end of it. And started mulling around and determined that Mud Lake had both. There's Beachcombers ice cream. So yeah, that's what we thought we'd like to do.
Well, my friend and I here, we just sat and spoke about multiple ways or places we can go. We didn't actually set one place. We thought both of us like nature, so he suggested Dow's Lake, I think he said, right? Dow's Lake is the place. The canal, yeah, along the canal, and Dow's Lake. Another location is the market, because they have all these little, during the summer, all these little kiosks. You go discover the other person's likes and dislikes, and jewelry and food and everything else there is wonderful too. And what was the other idea? Oh, I was thinking about the museums are free from 5 to 8 every Thursday, all the museums, so that would be another place that we can go. And that's correct. We had said coffee shops, Thames, Bridgehead, or Happy Goat. So this is the review of our discussion.
we think that Tim Hortons would be a good place to meet. It's casual, it's safe, it's no pressure. And then we talked about perhaps going to the art gallery. We both had an interest in art.
We discussed a few things, but we decided on the musical ride because it's happening tonight. We may as well do it, and it's free. And we both found out we like its horses. We also talked about going for a walk in the Arboretum, but after we've heard everybody else is going to be there, we thought we better be by ourselves. It might be crowded. Musical ride.
Hi. We debated about a coffee shop, but we live a long way apart in the city, and so decided we would go for a walk. Britannia Park, if it's nice, or Mud Lake, which is nearby, if we needed more shelter from the sun.
We discovered that we both really like movies and thought that would be a good way to have our first meeting because it's comfortable and not really too much expectation. Just get to know each other, so that's what we did.
And we might go for a walk to Mud Lake as well, and have a cup of coffee at the Britannia Coffee House.
We decided neither of us had much money, so we're going to go to Remick Rapids to look at the balancing rocks in the afternoon, and when it's 4 o'clock, head for the art museum for the free museum evening.
We're going to a coffee shop.
People in the band come back over here. We have a final song.
We decided on a coffee shop, and we talked about reading.
Casey and I did it, and I thought she was so original, saying let's go to the library, and then someone else said it. It was a really good idea. So we want to rush into the song. Okay, good. Okay, we've got our final song that we're going to sing. If you want to stand up and stretch your legs, you can. If not, you can sit. The words are in the booklet, order of service. And we're going to do the song Let My Love Open the Door by Pete Townsend. You may know a faster, poppier version, but we're doing a slightly slower version. And basically, we're singing it through twice. It's very short. So we're going to sing it through twice, and then we have a little fancy ending that we're going to do.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, and everybody keeps retreating, and you can't seem to get enough, let my love open the door, let my love open the door, let my love open the door to your heart. Everything feels all over, and everybody seems unkind. I'll give you a 4-leaf clover, Take the worry right out of your mind. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart.
And now again, we're going to sing it again.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating and you can't seem to get enough, let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. When everything feels all over and everybody seems unkind, I'll give you a 40 clover. Take the worry right out of your mind. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. When people keep repeating, let my love open the door. When everybody keeps retreating, let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart. To your heart. To your heart. To your heart.
Please have a seat, everyone. Do we have an usher or ushers to pass the basket around? Okay, awesome. Okay, I think that's for the tag. Okay. All right. So this congregation, so the ushers are going to start passing around the baskets for collection. This congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. We've been able to live into our hopes and dreams because of the generosity of those within and beyond this community. Whether you are here in Fellowship Hall or anywhere else, you are part of this community. We rely on one another to keep this congregation vital and resilient. And if you have any questions about how you can give, please go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how you can make a donation or to keep up with your pledge. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of this community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another.
So normally at this time, we would invite you to help yourselves to greens from the Grow Towers right next door in what is now the Grow Tower room and used to be the volunteer room and used to be the apartment. And I don't know what it was before the apartment. But it's been many things over the years. But the Ajashki program have decided that the plants need a few weeks to rest so that they can start producing larger quantities. So please wait until July and we'll let you know. But as was mentioned earlier, this is the opening of our new food cupboard program. So there are some wire shelves in the room. So if you are feeling food insecure and would like to pick up a few items, there's stuff in there. Please avail yourselves. We didn't have Joys and Sorrows today, but we do have one Joyful Caring card, which I think is out in the other room. And that joy is to dear Shristi, Naveen, and family, congratulations and best wishes on the June 13th birth of your baby girl. So we're running a bit late. I want to get a temperature of the room. at this point, we would do Spirit of Life, extinguish the chalice, and then finish up. Do folks want to do Spirit of Life, or just extinguish the chalice and move on to fellowship hour? We're flexible. Yeah, no. Okay, who really wants to do Spirit of Life? Put up your hand. Okay, I'm seeing a very tepid response. So with this, we don't really have closing words, so I will say thank you very much for participating in this somewhat experimental session today. I hope you enjoyed it. I think one of the big things that came through is the importance of knowing what you want and what you believe and how you communicate that to a potential partner, whether that partner is a friend or a potential romantic partner or your current romantic partner. All of these skills are very good to practice on the people in your lives now. Be open, be authentic, and be upfront, and we're all the better for it. So with that, thank you very much. We have a closing video, but we'll shut down the stream now. And we will start reorganizing so that we can have coffee hour. And as always, there should be green mugs somewhere. So if you are new or feeling new, once the green mugs are out, please take one of those mugs to let people know that you were open to good conversation and have a